Hello and welcome to another edition of MHQ's 8th Step to Growth, where, as is the tradition, we use the Q1 of every year to remind entrepreneurs of a couple of easy steps they can undertake to add value to their business, become more efficient, and prevent risk. Over the years, your business has grown and evolved, but so did the regulatory framework that you operate in. Sometimes this can be detrimental to your business, but often this can be very positive. And so is the case with your structure, which begs the question, when was the last time you reevaluated your operational structure? Has it been optimized over the past, say, 24 months? Are you scheduling of adding a new business vertical, or maybe your business did expand in some other activities? Does your license, does your structure still cover for that? And that's what we are going to tackle today, because restructuring your business using best practice tools like ADGM SPVs, DIFC prescribed companies, foundation can, to you, add immediate value.
Okay, so Jan, can you perhaps point out and illustrate to us here typical red flags we see in operating structures?
So I think to do that, the best is probably to look into an LLC, a limited liability company. And there is a lot of good news on the horizon, an upcoming release for something that is likely to be 100% ownership in the UAE mainland for most activities, it looks like, but there's still no precise timeline on the horizon or conditions. So for this exercise, what I suggest we do is what exists today. If you want to set up or restructure an operational mainland business today, this is how it's likely to look, with foreign-based investors, local-based passive local partner holding 51%, often on a trust-based basis. Now, what are the risks in this structure? Well, you have first a person risk, because the local partner, if he or she owns the shares in his or her name, is exposed to risk. That can be debtor, that can be the local partner passes away, and this can freeze the business and of course have a deep impact on its value. The same thing is between the relationship. The client and the UAE national, today the relationship will be often handled by local civil courts and subject to local mainland laws. This can be perhaps not optimal for someone that comes from another jurisdiction or that would want to use a sophisticated legal framework like in the DIFC or in the ADGM. Then comes the local partner, the foreign-based partner. He owns his shares at 49%. What if he wants to have some other shareholders entering or some investors? They will see a domestic LLC as a high-risk proposition. It's quite heavy to transfer shares. It has the potential of dragging the UAE national partner into a foreign-based shareholder dispute, so it's not optimal either. And what if something is to happen to our client, the foreign-based investor? Well, he can pass away. This will have a deep impact on his business. He can be attacked by creditor, divorced. So all of these are risks out there, but the good news is they can be mitigated.
I see. So what easy steps can be undertaken to mitigate these risks that you just pointed out and optimize the structure that you are describing?
So the good news for entrepreneur out there is that it's really easy, not as 1, 2, 3, but as 1, 2, 3, 4. And all this is by using simple tool. Imagine you have a dish, just a little bit of extra flavor will change it completely. It's the same thing with your LLC, really. So what we at MHQ believe is best practice are these steps. The first thing is you will document the relationship between yourself and a passive local partner in a sophisticated manner. Forget side agreements, forget handshake deals. This can be done in what we call the risk mitigation package, but more importantly, it's a set of enforceable commercial documents between the parties, which are all valid, all can be enforced in front of the courts, and really shift the control towards the driving principle, the one that is really in charge of the business, the foreign-based investor. The second thing that you see here in this illustration is that we suggest that the shareholding be corporatized. The advantage is that the local partner and the foreign-based partner now are dealing with entities so that they are not, or at least much less, exposed to individual person risk, both at the local partner and foreign-based level. These entities can then have an agreement which is framed in common law. It is lifted effectively from civil law to common law. And if you wanted to go further, you could actually have the local partner restructure his shares here into some sort of fiduciary structure like a foundation. I'll come back to that in a second. Now, this 49%, you recall, was held by an individual. Now it is held through a company. The advantage is that if you are a high growth business, you will want to raise finance, you will want to go to financial institution, private equity players, or equity partners that want to take a stake in your business. This is much easier to do if the face of the franchise is an ADGM SPV or a DIFC structure, common law, credible, easy for people to invest, to enforce their right, or to take a stake, even to pledge shares if they want to. So this is really best practice if you want to take your business to the next level, is to refresh it with a couple of simple structure, change the shareholding, and off you go. The business will be valued more with this done. Now, we haven't tackled the individual stakeholder. You will recall that this was one of the risks, and for that, we use foundations a lot. They have grown in use pretty much double or triple over the past 3 years annually. And this tool enables to take the shares from the principal to a foundation that he and his family control, thereby segregating the risk of creditors' attack. And if something is to happen to the investor, the business will continue, will not be impacted. The value will be preserved for his family and his beneficiaries. So you see, a couple of very easy steps for immediate value.
Amazing.
Hey, it looks like we are doing that as a day job, huh? So, so this was our third installment of 8 Steps to Growth. This is an important one because it's one that every entrepreneur, we believe, should do at least once every 2 years. So if you haven't done it, you know who to call. And don't wait, because if you have a new business line, if you want to enter into some partnership, if you want to raise finance, this is a perfect time to look into a structure optimization for now and for the future. So feel free, get in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you.